Okay, thank you for having a nice after lunch walk of 3 miles. Just, we'll make it worth the timer, please. And you'll see, we have 2 really great companies and 2 really great people who are going to talk about what they've done. And so it's Jonas, right?
Correct.
Not Jonas, Jonas. So Jonas is going to tell us a little bit about Maersk, because we've heard, and I think if you drive through a big port in the world, you see, but can you tell us a little bit about your company?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me? Any sound? Oh, here we go.
Very well.
Super. Yes, so Maersk is the world's largest container transportation company. We have around 600 vessels that we transport goods around the world. The biggest vessels, as you just saw a picture of before in the presentation, are able to carry up to 20,000 full containers. And just to get like the size of that, what does that really mean? They are around 400 meters long, and you can actually fit the Statue of Liberty 4 times into such a vessel without it touching any of the sides. And that's just in the hull itself.
Wow.
So in Maersk, we offer our customers an end-to-end supply chain product. So meaning we do not only offer ocean transportation of cargo, we also offer inland transportation, we offer warehousing, supply chain management, we offer production of equipment, so the containers we need in order to move the goods. And right now, roughly the estimate is that we move close to 18% of world trade.
Wow, it's amazing, 1/5 almost.
Yeah.
And so you talked a bit about the different business, and you put some numbers together, give us a bit more context, right?
Yeah. So in 2018, we had a revenue of roughly $41 billion, where 70% of that was related to our ocean transportation, where we are probably most famous for. But besides that, we also do logistics and services. This is mainly the inland transportation on rails or on trucks. But it's also all the supply chain management, warehousing, insurance of cargo, and other services that we deliver to our customers.
Beautiful. And so now, how do you fit in that? Tell us a bit about yourself and your background.
So, as I mentioned, my name is Jonas Wissing. I'm 37 years old, and I've been with Maersk for 12 years as a full-time employee. Before that, I had 2 years as a student assistant, actually. I have a finance background, so I have a master in finance and accounting. Worked extensively with management accounting, doing reporting to C-level executives. I then went on and became a business partner, so essentially sitting with the day-to-day decision makers, helping them make better decisions using data. And then lastly, in product ownership, where I've been part of creating some of the core data models that is used to actually to drive decision making in Maersk. But really importantly, the last 4 years has primarily been in leadership and transformation positions in business intelligence, where I've been spearheading initiatives such as going away from a very waterfall model for delivering BI products to an agile approach, and showcasing how that can actually be done so that the products are better and cheaper and faster to market.
Yeah, we have a very similar background. I also have a finance background, and it's interesting. I left Europe for 25 years, and I forget that telling your age, it's okay in Europe. So when you come in the US.
It's okay. So it's not okay in US?
Well, not so much, but that's okay. But this is the cultural difference. It's always fun. So tell us a little bit about your BI challenge, long-term and short-term.
Yeah, so I think in Maersk, we probably face many of the same issues as many of the people sitting here can relate to. I mean, one of the core issues we are facing is the fact that we have a very large self-service community. We have 120,000 employees globally across the company, and out of those, probably 30,000 are pretty data savvy. So they are used to doing their own data modeling, their own data extraction, their own ETL, their own data enrichment, primarily using tools like Excel or Access, or if they're very lucky, they have a SQL Server standing that they can actually use. So essentially you have a really large user base, but they're served extremely poorly with governance data models. And I think a lot of companies can relate to that issue or those issues that we are having with our self-service community. Then I'm going to drop the one down to the last one actually. So what we decided in Maersk was actually to create a one platform, basically a platform for the entire company that will host all the data, whether that is internal or external data, that can be accessed by anyone. By default, the platform is open, and we only close down information that we need to because of regulatory reasons. It's a very different approach to what we came from, where our data warehouse was completely locked down and controlled by IT because, oh my God, what if it goes down and production stops and all those things? We can't let any users on. That is not the philosophy anymore, right? We want to do data democratization. But it has to be a balance between democratization and security. Because I don't know how many of you know, but in 2017, Maersk was hit by the NotPetya virus attack that essentially crippled our IT infrastructure for 2 weeks. Basically had an estimated cost for Maersk for nearly $300 million. And in those 2 weeks, we had to rebuild more than 4,000 servers from scratch. We had to rebuild 50,000 laptops, and a number of applications had to be rebuilt from scratch because everything was lost.
Somebody was probably fired, huh?
There was a poor Ukrainian finance manager that had a really bad day that Monday. So we learned the hard way, data security and internet and intranet security is important. Take it from someone that experienced the pain of actually having their entire IT infrastructure wiped. And then we also, of course, have some short-term challenges. We do some acquisitions, and we are met with extremely tight and extremely optimistic deadlines from C-level executives on when can we actually deliver insights across the new company the old company.
Be careful when you go back.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay, and so anything else on this, or we just go over the architecture a little bit?
I think we can go through the architecture. I mean, that's just to keep it in mind that the one data platform is kind of the end goal and the future architecture that we will be using in order to serve our internal customers and external customers with data and data assets. So, as I mentioned, it's a one platform for everything. That means that all data has to be landed in this platform. And we use Azure Data Lake Storage, and we land all the data from our system of record, SAP. We land all the data from our system of engagements, for instance, Salesforce. We land all the data also from our current on-prem data warehouse, which is Teradata, because the data assets that we have inside Teradata has a big value for us. But we want to make sure that it's no longer siloed, and we can actually attach it to many of the things that we can do in Azure Data Lake Storage, which doesn't really work on Teradata. So we combine that with IoT and external data, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever that might be, and you actually get a data platform that is really, really wide. Right now, within 6 months, we've been able to load, I think I counted it just before I came here, we're on 300 terabytes of information.
Wow.
So it's quite a bit of a step. And then the data that is landed, of course, needs to be transformed or enriched in some way. And for that, we have chosen to use Azure Data Lake Services, especially Databricks. So all transformations of information happens in Databricks. And the key point here is that the data that Databricks creates also has to go back to the Azure Data Lake Storage, so that those data assets can be reused and reimagined and refactored if needed by future products. But as such, as a business user, Azure Data Lake Storage is probably not the best tool for actually sharing information. So in order to actually create a semantic layer that actually can be consumed by power users, we have Azure SQL Data Warehouse on top. So that is where we as a BI organization can go in and decide what level of information makes sense to expose to the data. We can introduce concepts like friendly naming, versioning, refresh timing, all those things that a BI professional will normally do when they do semantic models. But Azure SQL Data Warehouse is even potentially a little bit too complex for many of our users. 95% actually just want to see their daily sales report. And for that, we have our semantic models, which we use Azure Analysis Services heavily on to cache the information and serve business with the information on the time frame that they need. And then they can connect to this information through Power BI, through reporting services, Excel, Cortana, a third-party tool if needed, because everything is hosted in the cloud and is secured through Active Directory.
Amazing. And when you do an acquisition, you take the same approach, right? That you benefit from this infrastructure, right?
Definitely. So this concrete example was a company called Hamburg Süd, which is a German carrier, a competitor. And essentially, we were given the task to deliver an integrated sales report within 7 days of the acquisition. So we had to be able to deliver to our C-level executive the number of bookings we had in a combined tool using Maersk standards within 7 days. So we had to be extremely picky on the information we really needed. So obviously we did not start at the day of the acquisition, but after the announcement of the acquisition, we worked with our hopefully soon-to-be colleagues to say, you know what, we need this and this and this information. And it's all about being precise and being able to deliver that minimum viable product.
That's right.
And even though that we told them what we needed, we didn't see the data until the day of the acquisition because of legal reasons, obviously. So we managed to get their data landed into Azure Data Lake Storage. We transformed the information as we would with any other data to get it into Maersk standards. We unioned that into our current semantic models in analysis services. And then we created a Power BI report on top. And we're able to, by using Power BI Premium, to share that also with our Hamburg Süd colleagues outside our domain. That's right. So that they could access the information. And all of this was done 4 days after the takeover of the competitor.
It's incredible. Mm-hmm. And the thing, so we're going to show a little bit your reports, right, now. And I really personally, as a finance guy, I really love the clarity and the simplicity, yet it's simple, but it's not simplistic. There's complexity that is shown in a way that is really well organized. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what we're seeing.
So this was the first product that was delivered to our C-level executives, both on Maersk and Hamburg Süd side. And it is very much a simple sales report hosted in Azure Analysis Services and then Power BI on top. So essentially what we were tasked to do was to say we have what we call a trades, which is basically just profit centers, where we want to be able to show how many sales did we have by profit center. So the top one here on this is, for instance, all cargo moving between Far East and North Europe. And the first blue column, which says FFE loaders, is essentially the number of volumes we moved for the week that we have selected in the report, which is this week 7 in 2018 here. So you can see we had 33,607 bookings sailing that week for that specific corridor.
Wow.
But because the data was on a date level, we were also able to use DAX, right, to calculate time series data, right? So we could do the year-to-date calculation. We could do last year-to-date. We could do whatever we wanted to do because the data was already available on those levels. And it also includes the future booking. So we could see how many volumes do we believe we'll have next week and the week after that. So this was basically our MVP that we were tasked to do by the C-level. And as I mentioned, this was available 4 days after the acquisition.
And the thing that is amazing is that you were able to see quickly areas where you had probably benefits. One route was cheaper for one company on the other, right? Areas of efficiency, correct?
Yeah. So obviously, like a takeover in our industry really means that's about efficiency of the network. I mean, we are an asset-heavy industry, and every production we can get out of that asset is valuable to us. And obviously, when you are two carriers and we operate in the same markets, we will have the same customers and we'll be serving them different contract terms. So quickly after the first product released, an idea sprung up. So is it possible for us to actually compare on maybe a customer level or a corridor level? What do Maersk actually earn from the customers and what do Hamburg Süd actually earn on the customers? And if you look at this report, this was basically done 3 days later because we had the information. So we were able, if it's possible, to see in the middle.
To zoom?
I don't know.
I don't think you can.
Otherwise, I'll go through there. So in the middle and the top table here, it basically grants the user a view on the number of bookings we've had in a specific corridor. This is, for instance, Guayaquil to St. Petersburg, where Maersk had, in this January 2018, we had 1,189 boxes, and Hamburg Süd had 8. And the rate that Maersk received was 3,813, and Hamburg Süd had 3,557. So the Maersk, we got $255 more in rate compared to the same product in the company we took over. And using this, we were able to actually find out, okay, which customers should we focus to, which channels inside our organization? Should we try and move it into Maersk, or should we try and serve them through our new acquired company, Hamburg Süd? And as you see, we have a lot of breakdowns. There's also charts level here. So essentially, we could see on each single charged item whether it was like a basic ocean freight, basically the basic rate for that was different, was a surcharges like penalties or overdues or whatever it was that drove this change in revenue.
Amazing.
Companies.
And so tell us a little bit about this user-generated uptake report.
Yeah, and I think this really comes back to the case about self-service and making sure that your data models are available to more than one user and maybe wider available in your company. Because when we started this product, it was meant as a sales report. But the users, because they could access the information, saw possibilities with the information that we as a BI organization hadn't even thought about. So this is just one example from a user in Europe that basically wanted to see on a given week, how is the distribution of the boxes that we load in our network? And because you can say we want to make sure that we load the right boxes at the right time and we leave the boxes behind if there's not space that doesn't yield any revenue for us or any yield for us. So besides being able to showcase the distribution of the yield here, it actually also granted the insight into negatively yielding cargo. So before we actually had no idea whether we were losing money on many of our customers. But because the data was now available on the booking level, the customers or the business actually created a model to identify those bookings and be able to take action on them and say, you know what, why do we have I think there's a case here, why do we have 380 bookings that have a negative yield of $500?
That's true.
So the customer service and the sales department can go to those customers and either renegotiate the rate, or basically we can choose that in the future we will not take these bookings anymore into our network.
Yeah, and so that led to some contract optimization, obviously.
Yeah, so obviously we work a lot with contracts in shipping. We do separate that into long-term and short-term contracts, where short-term contracts is anything that is less than 3 months and long-term is more than 3 months. And you can say we try to make an optimal mix on contracts because you do need some base cargo on the vessels to make sure that you have enough to actually keep the business running. But there's a very big difference in the rate that you receive from a long-term contract and a short-term contract, because a short-term contract is much more volatile to the spot rate that we see in the market, whereas the long-term contract is obviously fixed at a certain point in time. So the users generated essentially from the same semantic model the distribution between long-term and short-term bookings, and then what is the average rate for those two. And as this report shows, you can see that long-term was historically much worse than short-term, but sometime in February 2019 it actually shifted, and short-term becomes less profitable than long-term. So they use this to track whether we are actually on track to make sure that our contract distribution is efficient and is optimized for the company.
It's amazing.
This is just another idea, and coming straight from a business user, using the same semantic model we did, yeah. but that they actually did for us.
Well, and if you put investments into the way things are, the labels, the description, there's a user friendliness that would invite them to play with it, and I'm sure you put a lot of effort in the taxonomy and the hierarchies.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about some of the lessons learned and the benefits of these solutions.
Yeah, so I think if you look at the new data platform that we have been using the last half a year to build, I think one of the key things is actually time to market. Before we had an extremely classical waterfall model. You had to describe your benefit case. You had to go and ask for funding. You had to go and get it approved. Then you would onboard a lot of IT people, and then you do the project. And hopefully in 3 months it came out and everything was happy. But in most cases it wasn't. But now that we have all the data inside Azure Data Lake Storage, we can actually, the time from idea to product is extremely low. We can spin up a service within minutes and actually be off working on an idea without having the need even for IT in many cases. We have scripted our way out of procuring resources in Azure. So users will never go into an Azure portal, for instance. There's a web page, and you just click, I want a SQL server, and I want to run this and that, and needs access to this information. And it basically uses infrastructure as code to boot up all the resources you need, all the accesses you need to be able to work with the information. And it's just proven to be extremely powerful in the time to market compared to our old setup in Maersk. And then I think, and one of the things that I really like about this is actually that by opening up the information to the end users, we actually take work away from the BI organization. I think in many cases, when I talk to my colleagues, they have like a tendency of feeling overstressed, like they can never be ahead of the curve. There's always too much demand. They will never be able to supply enough to actually lift that demand. But by giving the end users the access and finding the stars in the organization that can actually create these data models, you can actually leverage your organization to build these models. And then when they're done and they did something great, then the BI organization comes in. Yeah, maybe we need to do a little bit of cleanup. We might need to do some optimization. We might need to make sure that we actually promote it the right way. But the groundwork and the insight has already been generated by the business that knows the business. They know what they need. They know how they need it, when they need it, and how often they need it.
No, I love those silos. And at Microsoft, we're an expression for this approach. It's called discipline at the core, flexibility at the edge. And so there are things at the core, the taxonomies, the hierarchies, the semantic layers. But within a context that you define fairly well, that also can be secure, you let people self-serve, but in a way that is secure. Anything else on this slide?
No, I think it's just again to highlight again that even though I talk a lot about opening up information, democratizing the data, everything we do is secure.
That's right.
So we have it in all the setups we do. We make sure we give people the minimum access rights needed in order to do the work they need, but we automate that. We don't sit and have people administrating that. We script our way out of these things here.
That's right.
So
I probably have time for 1 or 2 questions.
Yeah. If there's anyone that has
any questions in the audience? Otherwise, we'll go to Medtronic. And Jonas is going to be around if you want to talk to him one-on-one. Okay, so let's go to, thank you, Jonas.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to switch quickly to Medtronic. And let me see. Wow, that was a smooth transition. So we practiced, that's right. Further together, that's a nice. So Luciano, tell us, we're gonna quickly go to the agenda, introduction, your challenge architecture, your focus. But first, maybe you should tell us a bit about yourself.
Sure. So, can you guys hear me? Yeah. So my name is Luciano Miranda. I'm Supply Chain Optimization Director with Medtronic. So Jonas put me in the spot, so now I have to tell you my age as well. So I'm 41. Although I don't like to say I'm 41, I'm version 4.1. And I'll tell you, my wife is extremely excited that I'm revving up to 4.2 in July. So I think she has a whole list of items that she wants.
I won't say my age, by the way. So there's no way
I tried, guys. Sorry. So basically, right there, a little bit about myself, my 2 favorite people, my daughter and my wife. And I'm from Toronto, and I was almost really happy today.
Yeah.
We lost by 1 point last night, but hopefully we'll do it on Thursday. So to serious business, the restorative therapies group that I'm part of basically is an $8 billion business, right? So Medtronic is 30 billion, so we're 8 billion of that. And we manage 2.4 million location combinations. My team is basically several roles, right? So I have a set of subject matter experts. So we sit right behind the front lines, right, to support the front lines, basically. So we have subject matter experts. We have, in demand planning, supply planning, inventory, et cetera. I have master data managers. And this is something that we did by design because something you should know about me, I am absolutely obsessed with business intelligence and analytics. I can talk to you all day about it if you want. But the problem is if you don't have good master data, we lose so many insights and people get very frustrated, right? So I wanted a way to control that. So that's why I took a few master data managers within my team. And then I have product lifecycle management as well as project management. And our mission, when you look at it, and I wanted to make this very clear for my team, is really our job is to enable the organization to perform at the highest potential. That's it, right? Is we need to find ways for the front lines to win or we don't win. So
one thing I discovered when we talk is how big Medtronic was. I didn't realize. Big company, huge company.
Big company. So we are the largest medical device manufacturer in the world. We are 86,000 employees strong. We operate in over 150 countries, 350 locations, and you can see there are patents, 46,000 plus patents that we have. Our revenue, as I mentioned, is about 30 billion. We're divided into 4 main business units, which is the diabetes group, the minimally invasive group, the cardiovascular group, and then my group, which may be the best group, which is restorative therapies. I don't have any other groups here, so they can't argue. But if you take anything out of this slide, what's more touching to me is the blue boxes at the bottom, which is pretty incredible, right? So our therapies improve the lives of 2 patients every second. That's pretty incredible, right? The breadth of what Medtronic has grown to.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your BI challenge.
My challenges, well, similar. I'm lucky to be here for the 3rd time coming to this conference and talking to some of you. I think these challenges will probably resonate with many of you, right? So the first thing was, and I'm going to take you back about 2 years when we started this journey. So we started in about 2017. So many different data sources. So we're primarily an SAP shop, but we do have ERP systems that are non-SAP and that are just as important to get connected. So that gave us SAP and non-SAP data. At the same time, we also did have a series of flat files that we just simply needed to work with, right? So that was a big challenge for us, particularly for we were for my business, pre the Power BI. The other issue, which, I was shocked when I came into Medtronic, right? So my background is I grew up in supply chain, but I worked for a contract manufacturer, which was, we only had 1 or 2 tools to our disposal. In Medtronic, tons of tools. But that also is problematic, right? So you can see there all the tools that are there. And I'll share a quick little story with you on how the whole Power BI thing came to be, because I was getting frustrated by that. So I called the senior director of application and I basically said, listen, I just want 1 tool. Like, just tell me which one I should use, and I'll use it, right? But like I said, I don't want just visualizations. I want visualizations and analytics. I want both. And he said, well, there's this company you might have heard of called Microsoft that, has this Power BI system, but, it's 2017, but it's still about a year away. So he goes, Luch, whatever you do, don't download it yet and wait, right? We hanged up, I didn't listen to my downloader. Within an hour, I had my first model. I'm like, this is awesome, right? Because I saw the empowerment that gave to my people on how it would address some of the other challenges, the fact that we had no standard reports, that they weren't easy to use. We had over 200 just in our supply chain, different reports, different platforms, very frustrating for the users and very raw data intensive, right? Which is something that is very near and dear to me. Because raw data could be good, but it could also be dangerous because you're at the mercy of how good the receiver is. Speed was an issue, and slow in innovation. So artificial intelligence was something that was in the wall somewhere for us, but not something that we could truly go after. And then finally, similar to Jonas, waterfall approach, very high cost, long delivery lead times. And like Jonas said, you wait 3 months. You're like, where's my orange? Well, here's a beautiful apple. It's like, well, I didn't really want an apple, right? But and it's not their fault, right? It's not the IT organization's fault when that happens because if you haven't realized, I am from the business, so I am not IT. Some may call me shadow IT, but I'm not IT. And it's not IT's fault, because now that I played that role a little bit, getting the requirements to them is very difficult when you don't have context, right? So you'll see how our transformation, we really shaped this on its head, and the transformation that Medtronic is going through in business intelligence.
All right, so let's go through architecture. So this was in the beginning.
Yeah, so in the beginning, basically very humble, right? Definitely started from the bottom. Because we're not IT, we had to do a lot of things, down and dirty, literally. You're talking about exporting text files. The biggest, we wanted to prove this out. So one of my team members pulled over 50 text files, 160 million records, right, in text files that then we put in Power BI to append for us. Now, our key to success in all this, and why you'll see that we moved through, is the fact that we really, really sold the front end and how it looked. And we talk a little bit more about that in a future slide, but don't underestimate it, because a lot of times I hear the IT organization say, it's all about the back end. And they're right. If you don't have the data, there's not much you can do. But don't underestimate the front end, because that's what you sell. You buy the packaging, right? And we really put there. So we sold them a Ferrari, we just never showed them the engine, right, at that time. So what that helped us go is to the next, if you click again. So now we were able to transition. So now we got momentum, right? And once we have momentum, now we were able to secure a SQL server. We're able to get IT resources, because you can't do it on your own, right, to pull the data automatically for us, load it. We still had some flat files that we use in shared drives, but the flexibility of Power BI made this pretty easy for us, right? And again, continue to work on that front end and evolve it. And now we're starting to move in analytics, right? And you'll see in the demo that I'll give you some of the stuff that my team has been able to do. Where we're going is our digital data core, right? Which is basically a semantic layer to avoid the data pulse altogether and just connect directly, so that will open up a whole wide array of new opportunities for us.
So let's talk about your overall strategy for BI.
Sure.
Maybe I'll click throughout.
So it was very clear to my team that this was not a pretty dashboard exercise, right? This is not about how many dashboards you make. This is not, we can make the best dashboards in the world, but if we don't improve service and cost, it doesn't matter, right? So, and for us, to win the game, it's like, okay, fine, we scored 4 goals, but the opponents score 5. Well, you lost. Or yesterday, Golden State scored 106 and we scored 105. We still lost, right? So, but the point is, is improve service and cost, and that was at the core of what we of our mandate. So we wanted to remove the silos in the development, right, and empowering the subject matter experts. Basically drive standards. So important to drive standards to your user community, right? And I'll show you a couple of samples of what we've done. Invest in BI design, as I was mentioning, as well as create a strong BI community, similar to Jonas, where you were talking about, you cannot beat the community. There's too many, right? So you need to make sure to find a program very similar to what Jonas described, where, in my opinion, we need to embrace it, right, and then harden it.
Okay, so the silos, the first point, how did you tackle it?
Yeah, so I think, this is the key slide to me, right? And if you get anything out of this presentation, consider this, right? So when we started, we had 3 tracks: subject matter experts, we had one person, we had developers, and we had technical people. Our key to success on where we are today is because we were successful challenging our subject matter experts to become all 3. And at the beginning, now it's a no-brainer, and they're all better off for that because they really become a much better resource. It's a very well-rounded resource. But now our subject matter experts literally, and this happens, I've observed it, they have an idea, right? They now are capable of designing that idea themselves. So they don't have to write a spec document. They literally build you a dashboard, and sometimes even as early as in hours, right? So really, really fantastic. And then once they start going to analytics, even more powerful, right? Because they get an idea, I wonder if I do control charts on this, I can detect anomalies, et cetera, right? And that's exactly what they do. So really, really powerful. And I think Gartner calls it the citizen data scientist, right? And empowering the end user. And I'll tell you, I have a first row seat to this, and it's quite incredible what can be accomplished.
That's right. And then you worked a lot on the standards. Everything you do has very common
Everything we did was to standards, right? So this was feedback. So as we develop constant feedback from our user community, and what you're looking at here is one of our, what we call our launch pad. So one of the frustrating pieces for our users was the fact that we had a lot of reports, and they were in different areas, and not all of them were in Power BI. So thankfully, Microsoft came up with bookmarks and that Photoshop-like layers feature, which is pretty awesome. So what that allows us to do is now we're web developers too, right? Because literally that is pretty much, we faked out report. And that's just all you're looking at there is a series of hyperlinks, pictures, right, and bookmarks and layers that turn on and off, right? But what this does is it basically puts everything in one track for our users, right? One-stop shop, and not just Power BI, because you can hyperlink it so we can send them to, even other tools like Design Studio if that's where the data is, or we can send them to, even to SAP itself if we want to.
You enforce consistency as well.
Correct. So one of the other things we did is, if you saw on the other slide, is we also had the weeks. So you can also do workflows, right? So you can meet with your stakeholder and say, what do you want them to do in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4? And you literally, put it there. So what that allows you to do is to kind of bring your average and make sure that everybody in the organization is at least doing that amount, and you make it really easy for them. Now, when it comes to consistency, I mean, how many of you have had the experience when you learn one Microsoft tool or Office tool, it's kind of easier to transition to another. So we took that approach in our designs as well to keep everything looking similar. So what we said is, look, this part of the dashboard, you can do whatever you want, but there are certain filters and taxonomy that you have to keep the same, right? And that is just also selfishly, it's easier to train people when you do that, because then they start self-teaching themselves versus you having to train on every single dashboard, right?
That's right. And as you kind of hinted at, you had a strong focus on design as well.
Yeah, so strong focus on design, right? So we have something called peer review. So this is the time when you come in with your dashboard and you're all excited, right? It's your baby, and everybody calls your baby ugly, and it hurts, right? But after you do it for a while, you don't take it personal, obviously, right? And you basically start taking feedback, right? So we have several layers, as well as really observing our users. Like sometimes we put an insight, and you're like, please look there, please look there, please look there. And they don't see it, right? So that is not to take it personal, but that's to say, okay, that's being missed. I need to move it somewhere else, and now let me try again, right? Until eventually you land. So our dashboards have evolved through time, right? And what you see here, some of these have some pretty cool analytics, like that PLM or product lifecycle management assessment. That helps our general managers make decisions on our product portfolio. I can tell you that's a combination of 50 different data sources to put that together, right? So the backorder recovery is looking, and we create messaging. So we try to take some of the comments away from the planners, so we can say, they're always the same, the comments, so we can actually code them for them. So big, long if statements, right? And then depending on where it lands, we can create the comments and tell them when the inventory will be recovered, depending on where it is in our pipeline. So some pretty cool stuff that, that my team has been able to create.
And beautiful. Obviously, you talk a lot about this community, right?
Community is everything, right? Particularly, depending where you are on your journey, but if you're at the beginning, like when we were, is the first followers, embrace them, right? And, what I would say is, for us, we really tried to embrace the community and what they were doing. So one of the first designs that we did is we started looking at the best Excel dashboards that were out there, but they were painful. Has anybody had an Excel dashboard that crashes your computer, right? Yeah. So those were the first ones, right? Because that we figured, it was a bit of a sales job too, right? Like when we're putting this, we are selling, we are driving change management, right? So we also want the community to embrace it. So if somebody comes in with a good design, similar to Jonas, we embrace it, we make sure they get the credit, right? And all we do is we just act as a conduit and maybe, tighten up the back end a little bit for them and then work with our IT partners.
That's right. So now we're going to show some things that you did, right?
Yeah. So again, I have slides. I couldn't connect directly to the Medtronic for privacy reasons, but hopefully you'll get an idea of this. So
You can even.
you don't see the
Oh, you
mouse?
wanna?
I want to see the. I want to see the mouse.
So let's do it like this. I'm gonna make it a bit bigger.
No, but I need it to interact.
Oh, so you want to interact?
Yeah.
That I don't know how to do. Maybe.
Okay, so I'll just describe it to you guys. So you click for me.
Okay.
All right, Mark. So basically, what the planner would do here. So here's my my launch pad. So in the demo that I'm going to give you is, I want to look at something, the connected metrics. So the connected metrics is the dashboard that actually put Power BI on the map for Medtronic, right? This is something we had designed for about. We had an idea of it for probably over a year, but we just couldn't find the funding to make it happen. And we literally, guys, no joke, we built it within 3 weeks of, now the back end, I look at it, I'm like, ooh, right, this is ugly, right? But it worked, right? So I would go to the SIOP section. So I would click on SIOP, and then I would click on the, we go to my reports section on the right, the SIOP connected metrics, which pulls here, right? So by connected metrics for supply chain, demand, so forecast accuracy, for example, very important, right? Bias for all you guys that are not supply chain, that's just your tendency to over or under forecast. So the 9.3 means that in this example, I'm over forecasting by 9.3%, which could be a lot of dollars, right? When you're a company
I love how
your
you
size.
call your forecast accuracy bias. This is beautiful.
Bias, yeah,
It's
can be
bias.
bias. So we also look at the supply, right? Because it's not just demand planning, right? In our organization at the beginning, there was a very strong push to always say, we can't do this because the demand is wrong. Well, newsflash, the demand's going to be wrong, right? Like if you can predict it right, go. Don't predict supply chain, go to the stock market, you'll make a lot more money. So we started measuring also the supply, right? So we see that from what we asked, we're receiving about 79% of everything we asked. But when we don't look at, the mix, so when we open it up, we're getting more than what we asked, right? So that there's a little bit of a mix issue happening there. It's normal, right? But something we need to monitor. In the outcomes, we want to know the product availability. What are our back orders? What is our inventory, right? And what is our revenue? So all in one shot that goes down to literally the part number. For us, it's part number country level. So in this demo, what I want to show you is I'm going to hone into bias, right? So we have 9.3% of bias. So I'm going to leverage one of, we love the explain the difference or explain the distribution changes. So by right-clicking on the 9.3 on my bar chart, I'm going to go to analyze and then find the distribution difference. And then when I ran that, I found that therapy SPK, right, has an anomaly. Right, so I want to dig further into it. Now, the connected metrics is at a certain level. So now what I'm going to do is click again, and then we build hyperlinks into this, where if you click on the forecast accuracy and bias title, it will take you to a report that's actually more focused on demand planning. Right, so it has a lot more insights. Now in here I cheated a little bit, full disclosure, right? Because I pre-filtered everything. So today the planner would have to refilter because we haven't yet enabled the report drill through, which is a pretty awesome new feature. But we're planning to do that, so then they don't have to do that anymore. So Mark, if you
next one,
yeah, please. So here's that. Again, I'm not going to take you through what the dashboard is, right? But it's just a demand planning dashboard looking at different types of analytics. And what I want to focus you on, and this is the reason why I really love Power BI and the power that is put in our hands, is that analytics portion on the right. We can actually look at bias tendencies. So remember, biases is did I over or under forecast? So in one particular month, you can over forecast, no big deal. You can under forecast, no big deal. But if you over forecast 6 months in a row, big deal, right? There's a root cause that you can actually attack to that. So what we do is we built a drill through and checks where we identify this, and then we bring them to the next slide, which is another report. So now we're in drill through mode, where we basically give them a list of all the part numbers that have this issue. So you can see if you look at the chart in the top right, just to get you guys to know what you're looking at, is the blue bar on the left with the bars. So the blue is our historical forecast, and the bars for these particular part numbers is the actual, so what we sold. So you can see there's a big difference, right? So we're identifying that difference. If you click again, I'm going to now hone in on one part number, because now I want the planner to take action, right? So this is how that part number looks, right? And sorry, Mark, just go back one more, please. And in here, again, similar. So now what Mark's going to do is he's going to click one more time, and it's going to go to another tab that it has a little more details. And this is what, I think the punchline of this is we can look at history and say, hey, in the history, you've been over forecasting by 21%. But now I can also look at the future and say, but the future forecast, you've only adjusted by 4%. So the probability is that you're still over forecasting this item. Doesn't mean you are, because the demand planner sometimes has market information, but it's something that should be looked at more closely. Okay? So from all this data, we can now go to another demo, right? So because we had all this demo, when Microsoft released the key influencers, we jumped all over it because I'm like, I can plug the key influencers directly here. So very quickly, here we run the key influencer, and I wanted to know what influencers were on back order, right? So what's driving my back orders? And what you see is that the first one is the category high value volatile.
And I teased him in the preparation.
He
I was
actually
like,
did.
You guys are a genius. I mean,
I'm like, hey,
it's kind of obvious, but.
I told him, you guys invented the product. You're just telling me, like, hey, the sky's blue, thanks, right? but the key to this, and again, I don't want to sell it or say that this was silver bullet because it wasn't. But what it did is it made us look deeper into other areas. Because if you look at the second bullet, there's something very interesting here. These are my category low value stable. Stable product is product doesn't have much volatility. We should be able to forecast those pretty well. So why is that have a higher probability of being on back order? So then we can go here, look at low value stable. And then I get another insight that is really interesting, which now it tells me that in this category, items that are basically that have a bias or a forecast tendency between -5 and 5, so meaning over or under forecasting by 5%, are actually more likely to have a back order. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, right? So what we immediately did is started digging deeper. And this was an area that wasn't performing poorly, but there was money to be had there, and there was service to be had, right? It was, like I said, it wasn't a silver bullet, but what it allowed us to do is we immediately, and this is true story, it's happening as I'm probably speaking right now, we did immediately safety stock analysis. Right? We rerun simulation models. Stable products are low risk, so we're like, let's increase our service level on these stable products. Let's do a lead time analysis, because the supply chain is usually never just one thing, it's a combination of things. And then let's look closer at what our manufacturers are doing for these parts, right? So the key influencer was so helpful, not necessarily that it told me something, like basically that was like earth-shattering and told me exactly what to go do, but it definitely pointed us in a direction to take action and literally get value out of it. So I'm super excited, and we're now, putting this type of key influencers more and more in our products, right, in our data products, as well as obviously when that tree flow that we saw, the tree diagram, I think that's going to be very useful for the end users, probably even better than the key influencers.
I think what's interesting here is every time you click, it reruns a logistic regression and restack rank the different variables in the key influencer graph. And I think that's incredible because just thinking, I was told by Justina it's logistic regression. I don't really know what that is, but and then figuring out where are the top segmentation is also a big deal, right? Because you want to know the optimal combination, right?
Yeah, and the segmentation is something we do ourselves, right? So Power BI is not telling, we do a DAX formula, right, to basically segment based on volatility and so on, based on coefficient of variation, et cetera, right? So we can do that ourselves and do it all within the model, right? Obviously, as you're doing this, it's a balance between speed and how much of your measures and how clean your measures are. So we're learning that as our models are getting bigger and bigger. But again, DAX is a pretty awesome language, right? Because once you optimize it, it can run some heavy-duty calculations really, really quickly.
So did you use the segmentation here? Or no?
No, so the top segmentation is something that we're looking at as well. So the segmentation is the one so this is really interesting because now this is start looking at multiple patterns together, right? So in this case, for this demo, we have accuracies below 50% and low bias. So clearly, there's an accuracy issue here happening, but I can look at the other one, the 13%, right? And this one's telling me forecast accuracy is not below 50%, but my forecast bias is between 5 and 5, right? So there are some issues that here, when you start combining, you can look at. What this is helping us do is we're working with Microsoft to build an AutoML model to predict back orders. And by looking at this, we can start kind of training the model on kind of what it gives us the biggest probability. Because my vision is that, when the planner comes in, looks at a screen, and they get an exception-based report of, hey, not these are your back orders because that's too late, right? But these are the items that maybe you can redistribute some inventory or take some proactive action, right? And we think that by doing that, we maybe can solve some of the issues that we have today. Hope that makes sense.
Beautiful. So let's see, did we have some closing statement, or maybe we can take questions, maybe we'll go and take questions.
Sure.
Okay?
He just completely took out my closing statement.
Did you have a closing statement?
I did, Mark.
You did? So
Yeah.
but I don't have the slide. You didn't give me
There was no slide.
So do your closing
I'm
statement.
kidding. No, what I'll tell you is this. I'm very passionate about this, right? And I think we're so fortunate, and this might sound corny, but I'm Latin, so forgive me. But to be basically living in this time of human evolution, because I remember even 5 years ago, like from a business user, we would have all these grandiose ideas. We had no clue how to do them. and we couldn't, right? Or we didn't have the budget. But today, like what we're seeing, I'm seeing it in my team, is literally all those roadblocks are away. So like, like basically our biggest roadblock now is our time and our imagination, right? So I hope that through this you were able to get something that you can take back, and that you enjoy this talk, and happy walking all the way back. So hopefully you'll get your steps in.
So Morten, I think you had a question. And if you also had a question for Jonas, we can also answer. Go ahead, Morten.
So in the third or fourth slide, you were showing all these old tools that you were using for reporting.
Yes.
How did you get rid of those tools, if you did get rid of them?
Yeah,
That's
great.
the first question.
Great question. So did everybody hear the question? Yeah. So basically, we didn't, right? So the way we're doing is we're just trying to develop better information in Power BI than we did in the others. So for example, Tableau was a really big competition, right? Because some people had made some pretty big investments in some of these other tools, right? So it's not as easy as saying, yeah, this is better, let's move. I made a significant investment in some of these tools. I want to get my ROI back, right? But as we basically organically showed, and like I said, it was a bit of a sales job in the sense of marketing to show people, to say, look, we can empower our people. Like Tableau is fantastic, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against it, right? Design Studio is great and so on. But I think Power BI just puts it all together and it empowers the user, right? So by just demonstrating that, and it didn't happen overnight, we're gaining more and more momentum. We're now into the thousands of users when it comes to Power BI. And it's also more cost effective for us.
So that would be for new report, right? But what about the old ones? Did you guys rebuild them?
Yeah, so the minimally invasive group was more of a Tableau shop, right? But they actually came at a crossroads where they started basically taking those reports and literally just rebuilding them. But because they had all that experience in that other tool, I can tell my colleague Nick, amazing designer, right, was able to convert like tens of his reports pretty much within a few weeks, and I'm not kidding. So,
questions? Yeah. So let me give you the microphone. There you go.
So you had several reports you shared, dashboards that were built by you guys for everyone. Do you have in the supply chain space a lot of people playing around using Power BI to explore data, not necessarily building like a recurring tool, but just exploring?
Yeah, so that's one of the things. That's a great question. So that's one of the things that also came out within our planner population. You started seeing people that really were interested, and you start seeing your next batch of developers, if you would, coming through, because they want access to the workspace, right? They want to start taking their own, their own copies, start making different type of visuals, right? Start creating different analytics, right, for them. Some of them they would share, some of them they don't. They just do it for personal consumption. And then you have other users that are basically just consuming the data. And then the truth is, you also have other users. Like, think of this, right? Like there are some users that for the last 10, 15 years, they've literally been getting us an Excel spreadsheet raw data. And they know they click here, here, and here, and they do their work, and they're happy, right? And they see it. It's a very, very white box for them. Those are probably the toughest users that we had to convert, right? The new users, like this, because they're like, raw data, I'll take this. It's way easier. But if you have to put yourself in their shoes, that it does take a little bit of time, and we have to be patient with them, right? And actually query them, because they have some good insights too that you can then insert into your analytics.
I think there was one around here. It's you. Okay, sorry. Let's see.
Do you have any comments on like next steps or possibly integrating AI into all that?
Yeah, so next steps for us is really going deep into the machine auto ML models, working with our IT organization to really harden that back end. So we're way better than what we were at the beginning, but we need to move into that digital core. That's going to be major, because that's going to open up a whole bunch of other analytics, right? So I'll give you an example. So one of my team members was looking, we do sales forecasting, right? And we look at two patterns to see when they're over, et cetera. Well, now that we have more data available, we can go down and look down to the customer, like the invoice level. Right now, you're talking about a lot of data at this point, right? So we're seeing some incredible insights. Like, we predicted some of our products that would be over forecasted back in August, and it was one of our star products. And basically, marketing said, "No way!" Right? Like, we're fine. Like, there's no way this is over forecasted. Come March, they're like, oh shoot, we're over forecasted. And we were able to see that simply because we were looking at all the customers that they were, kind of like obtaining, and we're like, eventually that's finite, right? So now what we want to do is work with Microsoft to develop an AutoML model that takes that input into account to better our forecast and not just look at history, but look at some input. I think that's our next evolution.
Questions? Okay, I'll go. Can you pass on the mic to her? Thank you.
So in your organization, are you also using any of the other Power Platforms or like Dynamics for sales, or Dynamics for like operations?
Yeah.
Are you guys using any of that?
Not yet. So we're not. So because we're a medical device company, security reviews are very intense, like very intense. I don't know if you guys heard of a product called Power Tiles. Anyways, it's a plugin to Excel. It took 6 months to get it approved, right? So right now, our global security office is working with Microsoft to make sure that it meets all of the Medtronic requirements. But I think, I'm hoping, I don't have a timeline yet, but it is our plan to move into Power Apps and particularly Flow, because that's another thing that we want to do. I'll give you an example. One of our, and it goes to your question before about what's next, right? So one of our other BUs developed robotic process automation. It's very expensive, right? Well, guess what? With Power BI and Flow, I can create a cheaper version of robotic process automation potentially, right? Maybe not to the degrees that they need, but there are many processes today that are very repetitive in nature that we can go and attack. So we're going to use the intelligence that we get from Power BI plus once the Power Platform comes in to start seeing how we can move in there into that world.
So last question. One more question? Oh, you guys, I'm going to. So last two. I'll give you a mic each. That way, I don't want to pick. One for you. And you get the last.
Here, let me.
Sure. You said you're on the business side, right?
Yes.
So my question is, how big is your team and what roles you have on your team?
Yeah, perfect. So I have a relatively small team. So we're about, so my team in itself is highly specialized business people. So my total team size is about 8 people, right? We service, though, probably about 1,000 people, right? So we have to be very careful on how we allocate the resources, particularly once we start going to our manufacturing. So we have many manufacturing plants. So it's a relatively small team, right? And the composition of the team is basically subject matter experts. These are the folks that really converted themselves from subject matter expert to that subject matter expert, technical developer, right? And then I have master data managers because, as I was saying, right, if you don't have good master data, you lose so many insights and you frustrate your users to no end, and then they start blaming your tools, even though it's the master data. And then I have product lifecycle managers as well, manager plus project manager.
Who's actually doing the development of the report?
Those reports that you see there are all developed by the subject matter expert, by the business. The only thing IT is doing for us at this point is developing that digital core, and then we have one IT resources that extracts data. So my team has we work very closely with that IT resource. So they basically extract data for us, put it in the SQL Server. So it's kind of like our own temporary version of a data lake, hopefully I don't misuse that term, so that then we can go and then grab it and then feed all our reports. But that's only a temporary, right? Like where we're going is to this digital data core, the semantic layer, where there will no longer be needs for data pulls, because the data pulls delay you. And even though people have very short memories, right? So even though a report before took, I don't know, like a day to get to them, or they got it by noon and now they get it by 9, but now they get upset if they don't get it by 7 a.m., right? So, but it's okay, right? They push us, but the users have very short memory, right? So we need to move to that level to be very consistent and very early on when we refresh our information.
So last but not least.
Hello.
Hi.
You mentioned the design being important.
Yes.
And I was wondering if you had any tips, aside from don't take it personally, which I think is a great piece of advice. But for example, I have one other person in my organization that's using Power BI, and he said, send me your best dashboard. And so I sent him one that I thought was good, and he was very unimpressed. And then he sent me one of his, and I thought his was very ugly. So I'm wondering how long in the process is the design portion, and how do you how do you decide when you're done designing?
That's a very good question, and something that it's happened to us, right? Because beauty's in the eye of the beholder, truly, right? What we look for is, what I would say is, at least for us, what worked is just minimum standards. So, for example, this is where the title will go. This is where the slicers will go. This is where the metadata will go, which we no longer need, as I saw from the keynote, right? This is the filters that we will have, right, on the right-hand side now with the new filter functionality, and so on. Now, when it comes to the front design, I always like to ask people one question: what is the main message that you want someone to take from this dashboard, right? And then does that dashboard answer that question? Because one of the common pitfalls that we run into ourselves is we get excited, right? And we start building and putting visuals and so on. And oh my God, I can answer this. And then you answer so much that you pay a very big price, because now the main question that you wanted to answer is now clouded with a whole bunch of other information, right? So that's one of the areas that we do. And when we do have a tiebreak, I do have this issue with one of my team members. He's brilliant. I don't like his designs at all, right? But I basically just let the user community feed it back versus being, me versus him, because that would, cause some friction. I just let the user community get feedback, and then we developed a feedback mechanism. We call it RTG Help, where they can give us tips, feedback, rate our stuff, see how it goes, and then from there, like I said, have the peer reviews. The peer reviews are very helpful because it's your time to be completely honest, right? And you don't take it personal, and you just basically go, and you bring other people from the business as well. And trust me, people will tell you that, what they don't like, at least for us. So that's something that worked well for us as we come to some of these, to some of these designs.
I would say one thing: there's design and there's decoration. There's best practices of design. There's Stephen Few, Alberto Caro, Edward Tufte. There's best practice when to use a line, bar, columns, that you can apply.
Yes.
Decoration, making things look pretty, that's more subjective. But I would encourage people, this is a passion of mine, that to explore some of the best practice in data visualization. There's a little bit of a science behind that one person should think about. And then from then on, where you put the titles, there's principles of design. And I think a lot of time people are confused between making something look pretty, but then they are showing what matters first on the top left and navigating, overview first, zoom and design, details on demand. There are things like that, principles, mantras, design that are universal to design that I encourage people to explore. So we're on time. This was amazing. Thank you, both Maersk. If you want to go to the Power BI Power Hour, there's like 1,200 people signed. It's in the big Georgia ballroom. And I hope this was a good use of your time. Thank you again for coming.